What's up, everyone? Welcome back to what is obviously the most award-winning podcast in the face of any podcast that's ever podcasted. I'm Travis, here with Jen.
I like that. We should put that officially somewhere.
I made it up. Sound good, though.
It sounded great.
Yeah, and it might be true, but probably not. So anyway, welcome back to the show. Super excited to be here. As we've said many times, it's the funnest part of Jen and I's weeks. But here's the thing, y'all decided to break records again. A couple weeks back, Jen, we broke a record for the amount of like emails and messages we got in the course of a week, and we have now done that again. What we had to do back then, for people that are new, there's a lot of new listeners, as we're finding out. What we had to do back then was cut them in half. And normally when we go through a podcast episode, we get to answer everything that was sent in. We will not be able to do that this episode. So we're going to take, we have two different ways you can reach us for the people that are new. You can text message us, which is if you're listening to the audio only podcast, there's a link that says text us and send us a message, and it does. We're going to go through those today. Then there's an email address, theboost@vidIQ.com. Those will be answered in the next episode. Now, typically, you have to wait a week for that episode, but we're going to try our best that in the time that you're listening to this, that we'll have another episode out in a couple of days. We're going to try. We'll see. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. But we're going to attempt it. Basically, all that to say that if you send in an email or a message to us, at some point in the week that you're hearing this, you should get an answer. We're going to try anyway. We'll see what happens. All right, Jen, you ready to dive in?
I am so ready.
All right. First one is from the United Kingdom. And again, this is from our text messaging. Hi, Travis and Jen. Greetings from Blighty. Before I start with my question point, I just wanted to give a shout out to the coaching at vidIQ, particularly my coach, Tyler. I joined the program in January. I don't know Tyler.
Go, Tyler!
I don't think I know Tyler. We'll have to tell me he got a shout out. I joined the program in January, and my travel channel, Michael Horton, has gone from 350 subs to over 1,000, and I have nearly 8,000 watch hours this year. I'm in no doubt the program has definitely helped and continues to help me. The issue I wanted to raise is linked to monetization. First, I've noticed quite a few bogus claims for rights for the music I use with Epidemic Sound. Epidemic Sound has been really good at dealing with this. But I wanted to mention in case other creators who reach monetization have the same problem and don't notice or complain. All right, before I continue on to this is interesting because we talked about this a couple months ago. I've used Epidemic Sound. I've never had a problem. But much like anything, whenever you use any music, even if you have created it, if you need any type of music, you run this risk. I don't know. He didn't say in detail like what happened. But I do know if you pay for Epidemic Sound, they whitelist you. And if there is any problem, you can get it cleared up pretty quick. But it is interesting.
I had an issue once where there was like a lapse in my payment. Like I didn't know that I needed to update my credit card. And it like flagged everything as like I could not use it. I was like, what have we got going on here?
That's interesting.
But it was just like a payment issue, but they were on top of it.
Crazy. I've also had a different company who used to give me music now suddenly claim for copyright. I pushed back, but to no success with YouTube. So I have used the AI to remove their music. This brings me on to my overall question. Have you noticed big changes with channels once they get monetization? Will we as creatives see more people trying to grift money off of us? Also, do channels tend to grow quicker once they pass that 1K barrier? Does anything else change? Thanks for the show. Okay, there's a lot of questions here towards the end. Really, it's like, first of all, am I going to see people try to get money from me as I get bigger? It's totally possible. I mean, to an extreme degree, you could look at Mr. Beast, who probably even to this day still gets a bunch of bogus copyright claims just so people can get money. I mean, that's the thing, right? He makes a lot of money per video. People are like, I can figure out a way to game the system.
Everyone wants to get rich quick.
Got to get rich somehow.
Yeah.
But will it happen to you? It's pretty rare. Like, you know, having settled, besides that one instance, have you had any kind of weird copyright claims that you don't think were correct?
No, I'm fully aware of every time I outright break copyright rules.
That's fair. She's like, yeah, this one's going
this one, not monetized. Almost everything is just not monetized.
Not making any money on this one.
See, I need the get rich quick scheme. Someone help me.
If anyone has any good get rich quick schemes out there for Jen, let's get it to her. And Okay, so this next question, I remember thinking this when I was up and coming. Do channels tend to grow quicker once they get past 1,000 subscribers? It really depends. Not all the time. I think when I first started, and my guess is this is probably the way Michael is feeling here, is that he might think there's some type of like either algorithmic change or something happens at that, and there is no difference. But I very, very specifically remember thinking that when I first started out. I was like, oh, I wonder if like over 1,000 gets faster. So do you ever think about any of that stuff?
I would think the exact same thing because I was like, well, YouTube's making their money now. Why wouldn't they want to push the content? Joke's on us. They're making their money anyways, running ads on unmonetized channels.
That is
you
true.
don't make the money.
So true.
That something happens with one of my first channels. I saw a lot of growth like at the 1K monetization stage.
Mhm.
But I mean, it was directly tied to the content that pushed it over that limit. So I think there was just momentum at the same time. So to me and probably other people, it seems like, yeah, that's what it is. It makes sense, just like connected like that. But I don't think that there's necessarily a pattern there, though. I don't have like the facts on it, but I don't think so. I think you're just a better creator at that point.
Yeah, that's the thing is a lot of people will look at, oh, after they got this certain size, things started happening for them. Well, to Jen's point, and I think it can't be understated, it can't be overstated. Yeah, they're better now.
Congrats.
They're better at their job now. And that really is the difference. It's such a critical thing. Like, oh my God, you're good at your job now. Yes, I figured it out.
Especially the timing. I feel like monetization typically comes in at like a year for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Could be sooner, could be later, but I feel like a year is like a good generalization. And when you've been doing something for a year, you have a lot of practice in.
Yeah.
So it's like a better marker of time than just like seeing if that fell into place at the exact same time.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, next one up. Hi, Travis and Jen. I'm that writing channel you guys talked about a little bit ago with Dan. Love your advice and how you guys help build a little community with the Boost podcast. I said the thing.
He said the thing.
He said the
thing.
Would love your advice on goal setting, especially on revenue, community, loyalty, size, and just in general, how to set good and productive goals past the subscribers by date. Also would love to hear some revenue streams you find underrated other than just YouTube and AdSense, or YouTube AdSense.
I love this question.
It's great.
I love this. I feel like goal setting is such a huge part of coaching because accountability is everything. And exactly like this person said, it doesn't just mean our vanity metrics.
Right.
It doesn't. There's like really, gosh, there's like infinite answers for this.
Yes.
Like
we need all of them, though.
There are so many. I mean, goals.
Yeah.
Goal setting that I'm working on with one creator specifically right now is just getting them to wake up at 7 a.m.
Oh, bro, that's never going to be me. You'd be mad at me if I was your student. I'd be like, no, I'm sorry, that's not happening.
It's so funny, but it's like so true because it's like what's leading to everything else being productive by waking up at this one window. So like that is one very simple, very challenging, but very simple goal. But other things that goal setting can be like coming up with 3 ideas this week, getting that long form published, even just the ideation process of having a list of ideas that you can lean on. It can be monthly, being like, I want to post 2 longs and 20 shorts, or the other way around. It can look like I want to see a 10% difference in my retention over the course of the next month. I want to publish 2 community videos instead of only focusing on discoverability so that I can make more money from my audience. I mean, I could literally list goals forever, but was this person specifically with money in mind?
Yeah, so what they're basically saying is they want to be able to set goals on revenue, community, loyalty, and size. So it's a little bit of like everything, like not just.
Okay, so it is everything.
It's a little bit of everything, which I think is a good thing because
it is a good thing.
So let's talk a little bit real quick about revenue. We have some great videos about it in our in the what I used to do, the Max stuff, and you can't overlook affiliate deals. I know a lot of people go, but trust me when I tell you, especially coming up the next couple months. So we're recording this in October, November, December. You can cash in with affiliate deals. Let me tell you. Of course, some of them you need hit certain metrics before they let you in. Although there are a couple of websites that will allow you to do affiliate sales without like a certain amount of subscribers or whatever. So I would look into those. You also, if you have a YouTube channel about a specific product or niche of a product, you can start reaching out to some of those companies and saying, hey, I would love to review your products. Is there any way I could get some samples? And you'd be surprised how well that actually works. It works pretty well for a lot of companies. And see if they have any type of profit sharing through affiliate sales again, something like that. You'd be surprised by just going out there and just trying a little bit more with the companies that you might want to work with. Now, if you're like a vlogger or something, I mean, you're using cameras and stuff. So why not reach out to like a backpack company, a camera company? What would you do?
The world is your oyster as a vlogger.
It's like endless.
Like your whole life.
Right.
What do you like?
Eat. I would like a Krabby Patty. We were just talking about that before we got on.
Oh my gosh, we were. The Krabby Patty apparently at Wendy's.
Yeah. And then, okay, so community loyalty is interesting because that's actually what we're trying to grow here. We don't have a goal specific really, other than to say we would like to have some type of community that we can, whether it be Discord or the new community feature coming to YouTube, which is probably what we'll lean towards. Of course, we don't know when that's going to come out, where we can interact with you guys and gals outside of the podcast. Our goal is to do that to create a deeper connection with the community that we're trying to build. And I think if you're trying to build a community, that's pretty much the standard of what you should go for. Is like, how deep can you make that connection with the people that are in your community and watching your content?
Yeah, especially with community, I would definitely make it a point to intentionally publish at least one community video a month. You can set goals, how often you want to be in your community tab, really engaging with your audience. It's so important, especially when your focus is on the money side of things. If you have an audience and they don't trust you and they don't even know you, they're not going to buy anything. They're not going to buy anything.
It's very true.
So it really just all goes like hand in hand. Everything is just like this circle that you have to work on every little bit by bit.
Another thing that a lot of people don't talk about, I think is really important, is to find other creators, either in your space or just outside your space, that you can talk to and communicate with. You'd be surprised at when it comes in handy. Case in point, a friend of mine, YouTuber who does home improvement stuff, and I think I've talked about it. I don't know if I've talked about it on here or not. CJ Drill. I've known her for a couple of years. Used to help her out with her YouTube channel a little bit. Weirdly, I got an email from this company that was like, hey, we want to help you like monetize your channel even more and do all these great things, and you can make like $40,000 a month, and we've done it before with other creators and stuff. And I'm like, normally I don't pay attention to those emails, I delete them, but in this particular email, they sent a video with one of the co-founders on my channel and going, well, we think we can do this. And I was like, oh, this is actually different than what I've ever seen before. So I'll maybe just sit on a call with them, which would be today. Weirdly, after I signed up on the Calendly link to schedule the time, it took me to a web page that went to testimonials. And the very first testimonial was my friend, CJ Drill.
Well, look at that.
So all I had to do, I didn't even have to watch the video. I never even watched the video. I just called her. Now, again, small world. Like, what are the chances? This random company, did this stuff. So I was able to call her and get a real kind of understanding of what they really do. It wasn't a scam. It wasn't like a scam or anything. She really did make like $30,000 in 1 month. Like, she made bank 1 month. But then she said right after that, it just died.
Yeah, I know people in a similar situation where like you just hit it big and then it's like, oh, okay, yeah. Well, that was cool.
And she felt like after that, they had no plan. And first of all, I'm like, listen, if you give me $30K in 1 month, I might be all right if you don't have a plan after that.
Right? But I'll forgive you.
I'll forgive you. But it did, listen, I'm the kind of person right now where I'm like, I don't even want to bother with very many things anyway. And that was enough to push me over the edge. So I deleted the thing. So I'm not going to talk to them today. But just me having that friend that isn't even in my niche saved me time and saved me a whole bunch of shenanigans that could have gone down. So for me, making those friendships with other creators is a great thing. If you can go to any of the YouTube meetups, go to meetup.com. There is like a section for some places where YouTubers meet up. Also, if you can ever make it to VidCon or Vid Summit, those are great places. There's also other creator events around the world. So that's that one. All right, next one up. Howdy, boosters. Quick question. I'm struggling to figure out my editing style for my channel. I'm a gaming YouTuber whose editing style is influenced by Corey X Cation. Oh, I know Corey. It's cool. As I grow in my career, I know it's time to find my own style of editing, but I'm struggling with finding my own style. I have ideas, but don't know how to implement them, and I don't want to be labeled as just another Corey clone. Any help would be appreciated. Thank you guys for all you do. Yeah, this is a good one. Corey X Cation is a big YouTuber. He's very personality based. He is a gamer, but really, I don't think people go there to necessarily watch him play the games. They go there for him. And that's the key. That is the key. What is your superpower? Jen, what is your superpower? What do people watch you for?
I don't know why anyone would watch me at all.
Oh, man.
Oh, but I totally feel where this creator's coming from with trying to find your own style. I think there's definitely a line between, finding your own style, but don't feel like you have to invent your own style. I don't know if there's that big of a space for truly inventing your own style. I think you're always going to be pulling inspiration from different places, but I don't think you have to reinvent the wheel. But I understand you don't want to be like another, like people don't want to see your content and be like, oh, they're just this person. What do you think the first thing to do to break that cycle would be?
So for me, I was very specific when I created my original channel to try to make it so that the products I reviewed was the gateway drug in, but I was the reason you would come back. I wanted to review the products, but do it in a way that you couldn't really see anywhere else, and in a way that was unusual, but inspired by channels, of course. Like it's fine to be inspired. And I think the one thing that no one can really copy perfectly is your personality, right? Like people can try,
True.
but it's obvious if it's genuine or not, right?
Yeah.
So
the viewers know. Like
yes,
creators don't just know. Like the viewers know.
Yes. You are 100% right. They can tell. They can smell when someone's not being genuine or not being honest or not being like real or not being whatever the case may be, whatever you want to call it. And I feel like if you just give the people what your friends like about you, then you might just make a whole bunch of new friends, so to speak. Friend, quote. I'm air quotes. You don't necessarily want all these people to be your friends, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to say. Jen's laughing for various reasons, and I know why.
I am laughing. I feel like I'm going through this like personally right now,
right?
With shorts, and I have gained myself quite the reputation for hating shorts. I have so many of my creators now who like preface when they talk to me, they're like, "I know you hate shorts, but," and I'm like, "I don't hate shorts."
I mean, listen, you literally say I hate shorts on an upcoming video that's going on the main channel, so I don't know if you want to.
Okay. I just wish they weren't on YouTube.
Okay, that's fair. Listen, that's fair.
I don't like hate shorts though. I watch TikTok just like everybody else. Like
you don't hate short form content, is what you're saying.
I don't hate short form content, but it's really funny because like I have never intentionally created a piece of short form content.
Right.
So Travis and I had talked about this, that I was running a small shorts experiment for data, except I had never made a short. So what I ended up doing was just cutting down long form content, which like a lot of people do. But I was cutting it down in a way where people were commenting. They're like, this is really different. I haven't seen content like this before. And I'm like, that sounds bad. That sounds bad. Like I want familiar content that everybody else knows. And this is like, oh, another short. Oh, just another short. So I think the main thing is to try something new and just commit to it and go for it. And let it become your own and just pull little tweaks from other people. But at the end of the day, none of us know what we're doing.
In a lot of ways, you're not
None
wrong.
of us know what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think the editing style is one thing. The editing should match your personality so that you're not chopping off parts that are endearing. Sometimes it's a rapid pace, but sometimes that matches your cadence for talking. And that's a skill that takes a while. And I get you're saying like you've been inspired by Corey, which is cool, and his style. But figure out like what and the way I did this actually, which is interesting, when I first very early on, I was looking at my retention graphs and seeing when people were staying and leaving. And there was a balance of me being on the screen versus not being on screen that I had to hit for the retention to kind of stay at a place that I was happy with. And that helped a lot with the editing style. So go back to some of your more popular videos that actually have enough views that the retention graph is accurate, which is usually anything over 100. And look where people are cutting off and see what you did in the edit. And like, where were you? Were you on screen? Were you off screen? Were you saying something? Were you doing something that people either maybe didn't like? Or look at the bumps, the ones that go up, the little humps. So did they come back? Did you say something interesting there? Was it really funny? Was it, entertaining? Like, what was going on? That will also dictate how you edit your stuff.
I love this. Wait, I feel like this is a Facebook quiz where it's like, what personality or like what editing style is your personality? And it's like, are you ASMR? Are you retention edit?
Oh my gosh.
Are you like cinematic?
Yeah.
I feel like that's genuine of like what you were saying. Figure out like how you shine through editing and then play into that deeper. And that's truly how it becomes your own.
Oh my God. Powerful words.
You said it. I just resaid what you said.
Did I?
You said it.
Listen, I say stuff and then immediately forget what I said. I hardly pay attention to myself. By the way, I forgot. We actually have to, when we get through some of these, we'll have to pick one of these for the video to be edited as well. So I think I see one, but yeah, Jen, thank God you're here because I have no idea what I just said. All right, let's get into this next one. Listen, we're recording this on a Friday. You have to understand.
Oh my gosh.
We are delirious.
The Friday ones I feel like are always very noticeable.
You can tell the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just silly. Okay, here we go. This one's from someone in Phoenix, Arizona. Hello, I'm so glad I found your podcast. I am binging every episode.
Bingeability.
I love it. I have a question about how to address comments left by viewers. First of all, I started a year and a half ago with a children's channel that quickly got monetized, and now I have over 370,000 subscribers. And I've made $30,000 in the last year with an average of 1 million views every 48 hours on that channel. That's really spectacular.
That's amazing.
That's great. I decided to start a different channel about side hustles, and I'm having so much fun with the new content. I'm at almost 7,000 subscribers in just a few months and growing quickly. However, this is the first time I've had to deal with comments and rude people. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a fun one because I do have backgrounds in this, and Jen has just fallen off. Her camera keeps going off. That's fine. You can switch it back. That was funny. I don't think people will see it because it probably won't be edited in. But that's
why I didn't say anything. I was like, you're talking, so no one will notice. So we just blew up my spot.
Yeah. That's why I was like, let me just keep talking. If you're not watching on YouTube, you have no idea what we're talking about. It's fine. Anyway, I love a constructive debate. I have no problem when someone disagrees with my content, and we can have a conversation about it in the comments section. Most people are very kind, and I love building the community. However, I will delete someone's comment if they are really rude and just flat out mean. I want to create a positive, supportive environment, and there's no room for negativity. There's always room for constructive criticism, but not negativity. So the question is, when you delete comments on your page, when do you delete comments on your page, and when do you leave them for everyone to see? This is a fantastic question that we've never talked about, and I'm so happy it came up because I have strong feelings about this, and I would love to hear yours first.
Oh. Should this be an episode? I feel like I've actually just chatted about this with, Lord.
All right, just put it back to your for those listening on audio podcasts, her camera just went off.
You guys, I tried to do something cool.
Yes, she did.
I tried to do.
Look, she's trying to do something cool. Here's what she did, because you can't hear her now because she just switched the cameras. But here's what happened. So before we started, I said to her, she goes, I have
Travis, I can't switch cameras.
Are you serious?
While we're recording.
Can you change it back to the one that works?
Yeah, I'm going to try and change it back.
So she has a higher quality camera, so she's actually using it. And there's growing pains with this right now. and it looks like one of the growing pains is Jen's camera's off.
Wait, what in the world? Okay.
You can't wait. You can't.
Wait.
Hmm?
I just had my camera turned off, like the
Oh.
button.
Oh. Bro, we're professional.
To edit it.
No, we're leaving that in. I'm letting everyone see that. That's just shenanigans. I can't wait to people comment on this. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know the camera needs to be turned on if you want it to show your video. Jen is over here dying.
Oh, I'm not technologically advanced enough for this.
Oh my God. Okay, so are you saying you want this to be like the one we do an edit for?
I feel like, yeah, this could be a great conversation because I've recently had this conversation with 2 other people this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, let me do the intro for it real quick. So we'll do the waving of the hand so the editor can find it. Timestamp is about 26 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down so I don't forget because I need to tell the editor.
There's the fireworks.
Oh my God, the fireworks. 26 minutes. Okay, this is for the editor. So the editor, I'm about to do the intro, and then we'll do the thing. And then when we're doing the outro, we'll go back. For everyone listening, if you listen to the last episode, you know what's happening. If you don't, you have no clue. But here we go. Have you ever wondered what to do with okay.
Friday.
I just thought of the fireworks and your video camera going off, and then you laughing, and I got to get that out of my mind first. Let me cleanse the brain, and it's Friday.
Friday.
Okay. And by the way, as you can see, for some people are like, oh, some of this might be scripted. Listen, we just figured this out. I'm about to say this. I have no script. I'm just trying to figure it out as I say it. This is how all these recordings in the past have ever gone. All right, here we go. Have you ever received a rude comment on your comment section on one of your YouTube videos and you don't know whether you should reply to it, leave it, or delete it? Today on The Boost, Jen and Travis, who's me, so let me try that again because I just talked about myself in the third person.
This is the most dysfunctional podcast on the internet.
But it's real. It's real. Let me do that again. One more time. Okay, here we go. And we got an email from someone who was like, well, maybe you should do the intros at the end of the thing. I'm like, bro, this is entertainment. You don't like this?
This is gosh.
The best.
Everyone's just like double tap, double tap, double tap.
I think people think that things happen very cleanly and smoothly for us because I've seen that message before. Like, oh, you guys are good. Bro, you have no idea how much of a struggle it is.
Yeah, I can't even turn my camera on.
Her camera ain't on. What else have we had? Okay, anyway, let me get back to this. All right. Have you ever had the editor also, I'm sure, is really upset with us. Okay, here we go. Have you ever had a comment from one of your YouTube videos that was rude and you weren't sure if you should delete it, respond to it, or just leave it alone? Well, today on The Boost, we're going to talk about what you should do and what you can do to get more of a positive feedback from your community here on The Boost by vidIQ. Wasn't perfect, but we'll do it. All right, so let's get into this. So for the editor, we already read the email. If you could use that, I'll send the message to the editor that the actual email that we got, or it's a text message, but if you could, anyway. So what they're saying here is they had a successful kids channel, and now they're into their secondary channel. They're having a lot of fun, but now they're getting these rude comments. They want to have a positive community without having to battle back and forth with people in the comment section. I have a lot of thoughts about this, Jen, but I would love to hear what you have to say about this.
First things first, I would encourage this person to make sure they have their community guidelines set specifically for their channel. Let people know what is okay, what is not okay, and what you expect out of your community within your comment section. I just think this is the best place to start because if someone doesn't know and they just treat it like everyone else's, or they don't get that little reminder before they comment, they may feel more inclined to voice their full opinion. But it's just a nice little reminder before you need to take additional action, really.
Yeah, actually, I think YouTube gives you the ability to set rules for your comment section so people can understand, to be like respectful or whatever. But one thing you have to understand about YouTube is the larger your channel gets, the more kind of rude comments or haters that you'll see in your comment section. This is actually more of an indication of your videos being sent out to a much larger group of people to watch them. So you will get random people that will come through and maybe be disinterested and maybe say something hateful. for me, I have a very specific rule I like to follow, which is if the comment is disruptive to what's going on in the comment section and is kind of off-putting, it gets removed. I just remove it. That's not something that everyone does. Some people just leave every single comment there, but there's one thing that you should understand about negative comments is that they can the one thing you should understand about negative comments is that they can snowball. As one gets put there, someone else might snowball on that. And it seems like whenever one person can say something rude, other people feel comfortable in saying rude things as well and kind of displace the discourse on the comment section. So I try to remove them if needed. Now, there are constructive criticisms that you will receive from the comment section, and I think that's great. You can actually improve the quality of your videos and the content of your videos with those type of comments.
I also think there's a great opportunity to jump into the comments and either stand by your opinion, welcome the debate and the conversation in a really positive way. And if you feel like it's going in a negative way, feel free to jump in and be like, that's not cool, not how we do it around here. And then also I think it hits a point where there's times you're going to need to report people.
Yeah.
If it's just purely hate and it has nothing to do with your comment and it is insulting you or anything that is not about your comment in a way that is affecting your mood, your day, your well-being, they have the ability to do that to anyone else on the platform. And there are times you should definitely report that behavior.
One other concept I like to bring up to creators when this question is asked to us is a very simple concept, which is this. Because I believe, like most creators, you'll see will interact with someone who's being negative in their comment section. I think that's just human nature. If someone says something bad to you, you can hyper focus on it, whereas you might have 99 people saying something nice to you and you almost ignore it. I think that's the wrong way to think about it. Consider this. For every 1 second that you spend on this terrible comment is 1 second you're taking away from the people who've supported your channel from the very beginning. Just imagine you're one of those viewers to your channel that maybe leaves you a nice comment and talks about how much they love your channel, and then they go back to see if you've engaged with it and you've gone back and forth with a hater 6 or 7 times and they never even saw your comment. How would that feel to a viewer who's really just trying to support you?
Sometimes it's important to read comments at different periods of the day. Remember, when you read text, you often read text in the mood that you're currently in. If you're in a really bad mood, you might read something that's not quite as harsh or critical, and definitely take it way more that way, where maybe they were coming from much more of an innocent place and meant a lot more good than harm. So remember, it is text. We don't always know. We can give people the benefit of a doubt. Benefit of, what is it?
Benefit of the doubt.
Benefit of the doubt.
It's Friday. Oh, you snorted. That's beautiful. Oh, and then your camera went out.
Canceled.
Went out.
Canceled.
Y'all got to watch the YouTube version of this. If you're listening to the audio, you got to watch.
Actually canceled today.
No, you good. You're good. You're fine. You're fine. You can recover, I think. You're doing so well. Oh, she's dying. Y'all got to watch YouTube.
Okay.
We're almost done. We got only a couple more questions.
Crap. Oh,
another 10 or 20 questions and we'll be out of here.
Yeah, we'll be all set. Meanwhile, I'm just literally holding the wire into my computer, being like, please don't disconnect.
Please don't go off. Okay. Let me do this last other bit. Oh my gosh. Another thing about comments is sometimes you can get some really great video ideas from some of the great comments that come in your, wait, I'm saying the word comments so many times. Okay.
Comments a lot.
Saying comments a lot. I hope people that listen to the podcast actually enjoy this part. Anyway, another great thing you can get from your comments are video ideas. I remember a long time ago, I looked in my comment section and I saw a couple people mentioning a type of video they wanted me to make. So I eventually made it. And over 360,000 views later, I was a happy camper. So sometimes content ideation comes from your comment section as well. But of course, back to the rude and negative and haterish comments, that is something you will get more and more of as you grow as a content creator. Do not let it shake you. that is an indication of success. It may not seem like it in the moment, but trust me when I tell you, as soon as you start seeing hater comments, that means you're actually succeeding. I said that like I believed it. Actually, I believe it. I do believe it, actually.
Also, great branding.
Yes.
You're doing a great job of branding. If you have a strong opinion, people can tell the difference.
Well, that's the other thing. Is like if you're a negative person, you will tend to get a lot of views and stuff, but a lot of haters. And if that's something that you're not ready for, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't make that type of content. And we're not saying that's what's going on here. I don't think that's what's going on here. It's an investment channel. And I think probably what this person is seeing specifically is, people who have a very strong opinion that the way they're making money is not the way that you should be making money, like the way this YouTuber's making it. And
this
the same thing, this goes for everything.
Yeah, this is literally like vegans commenting on a carnivore channel.
Oh my God, please don't do that. Please don't do that. So you also have to keep in mind that not everyone's comment is really worth your time to engage with. If it's not terrible, leave it there. It's fine. But if it's disruptive, it's probably a good idea to remove it. Hopefully, this helps you with some of the comments you may be getting in some of your videos. Why don't you leave us a comment here and let us know what's one of the worst things this might be a bad idea. Let me rewind
leave us
that.
A
Don't
nice
do that.
Comment.
Let's try that again. Hold on. Let me try that last part again. Hopefully this has helped you figure out what you should do when you receive a hater comment or a rude comment. Let us know below why you like this episode so much. Just be nice to us. No haters allowed. And we'll see you in the next one. All right. So that's that one. And that ended at like 36. Okay. So that'll be for that episode. Hopefully that kind of answered your question. But yeah, at the end of the day, don't engage with people that are just trying to. By the way, the one thing I didn't mention is there are certain people that are trying to rile you up just to get you to engage with them. I know this because very early on my journey, there were people that were saying just kind of rude stuff, and I replied back to them, and they literally said, "Oh my God, I can't believe you replied." And I said, "What was this all about?" They said, "I just wanted to see if you would reply to me," and they didn't really believe what they said. There's a lot of that too.
The internet is a wild place. That's why, don't take anything too seriously. But if it's affecting you, get rid of it immediately. You ever have a comment where you keep coming back to and you think about and it just ruins your day or something?
Yes.
That's the level of toxicity that you get rid of. Delete it.
Yes.
Don't even think about it. Don't let it even exist.
100% agree.
And to set up filters if there are trigger words that often are associated with this type of comments that are not wanted.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely want to set up your filters. And one of the first things you should put in your filters is not just all the curse words and stuff, but your phone number and your address, because some people will be really weird. All right. Next one up. Hello, Travis and the revolving door of co-hosts. we don't know. The thing is, we don't know what episode these people are listening to because it isn't necessarily the episode before. This person may have just listened to one of the older episodes where it was Dan or someone. So we have no idea.
I love it though.
It's amazing. I started a gaming channel on YouTube as a hobby and was curious as to what your thoughts are on spending for a recording setup. I've got most of mine figured out, but it was something that happened across my mind. Keep up the great work. The show keeps my morning commute better. Oh, I love to hear that.
Oh, well, I have no advice for you, so
I can give you a little bit. So it depends on what kind of setup you want. So I currently have a pretty decent setup, a Rodecaster Pro Duo and a Procaster mic. We got a Shure microphone over there for Jen, which I think is yours USB into your computer? Yeah. So I'm going through a mixer and she's going to USB. And for the recording, again, for any kind of recording, for any kind of YouTube video, audio has to be first. Doesn't mean you have to spend $1,000 on audio. You do got to spend something, even if it's just $20 for a lav, something, right? But as far as other things for a gaming channel, obviously you want a game capture and usually you want a face cam of some sort. But to be honest, you'd be surprised at how well channels can do with just the most minimal of things. Your smartphone's more than enough for a camera for most people. And like I said, a $20 lav is usually perfect for the audio that you really need for content that's good. Just know that no matter what you buy, no matter how high end it is, there is no guarantee that is going to make your video any better at all.
It's so true. You're better off making like awesome content and just slowly upgrading over time than to think that the equipment is going to make the content. It's just as boring to watch someone boring in 4K.
I did not see that coming, but she's not wrong.
Words of wisdom.
This is the most high quality garbage I've ever seen. That's a quote from Dr. Savage, actually. Dr. Savage said that one time. So yeah, I mean, if you want to invest, that's cool. I would do it as you said you started as a hobby, and that's cool. I think keep it as a hobby. Don't get too serious about it, because you never know where your feelings are going to change in a year or so. Like, not to say that you shouldn't continue to invest in what you're doing. I think you should, but be very, the problem with this stuff is that when you buy a lot of it, if you decide this isn't really for me, trying to sell it becomes a weird thing, right? Kind of difficult. It's not like you just sell it to a friend or something. You actually have to go on eBay or something, and then it's a hassle. So I would start off very slow. I took for the first year and change, I used a $20 lav. I was using my phone for recording the first couple of episodes of my original channel, and then I did invest in a camera because I knew that I wanted to do it. But I mean, I literally could have just used my camera and the $20 lav mic for the first year, and it wouldn't have been a problem. The lav mic, though, again, was like critical because the audio previous to that was crap. So there we go. Okay, here's another one. This one's from the Down Under. By the way, speaking of people listening to this podcast, because we're worldwide, in looking at the analytics on the audio podcast, I noticed we have an inordinate amount of people that are listening from Cambodia. It's a very interesting place to have podcast listens from. And I actually even did a little research with the platform company that we use to see, because a lot of times when you see something like that, it's usually like bots or spam or something. And they have assured me that it's not, and that it's actual people listening. Yet we've never heard from anyone from Cambodia on this podcast. If you are listening from Cambodia, please send us an email, theboost@vidIQ.com, or use the little text. Well, of course, you're probably listening to the audio podcast because that's where we're seeing it. Click the little text us link, and let us know you're listening, because I would love to know like how you found us and that sort of thing, what it's like. That'd be amazing. Okay, back to the email or the text message. Hi, Travis and Jen. By the way, people hating on me when I read these text messages, because I'm still amazed that people type this much on a text message, because they look like emails.
That was funny.
We've seen a couple comments in the comments section, and we've gotten emails. People are making fun of me because I am blown away that people are writing these long messages on the phone, because I can't do it personally. I'm like, I don't want to, I'm over it. They were saying like, what was it? Millennial Jen tells whatever Travis.
Oh my gosh. That was the funniest email. I want to say it was like was it like a Gossip Girl sign? I was like XOXO millennial.
I think it was a comment section. Yeah. It was, yeah.
Hilarious.
They clown
so
on me.
Funny.
We have the most creative listeners, 100%. Okay,
yeah, everyone's creatives.
Hi, Travis and Jen. I started my YouTube journey 2 years ago. My channel's mission is to empower farmers and farm wives with essential skills, practical advice, and insights on transitioning to farm life and successfully integrating into or returning to family farming operations. Initially, I started out with one upload a week in an interview style and quickly grew to 300 to 600 views per episode. My audience then asked for a broken down tips video, which I started doing, but they didn't receive as much attention or views. My audience then suggested I branch out to podcasting, which I did. However, now I have a split audience with less than 100 views on YouTube each video, but also only average about 200 downloads on podcast. Where did the other 100 to 300 audience members go? When I branched out on podcast, I put extra effort into my socials and dropped the tips and advice YouTube videos, which I miss doing. I've been asked to start doing them again, but as a mom of 4 kids, 5 years old and younger, plus working on the farm, I'm torn between where to focus my tip. Would raw live chit chat sessions on YouTube work over edited tips and advice videos? All right. This is great because it kind of goes to what we just talked about. I did mention in the little thing that's going to be in that video that I did receive some comments about a video, and then the video did very well after I did it. Having said that, there were a ton of other comments that asked me to do other content that I never did because I, as a creator, knew it was a bad idea. The thing is, when you're newer to content creation, it's easy to be influenced by your audience and when they say, oh, you should do this, you should do this. you have to remember that while sometimes you can get good ideas from your audience, they are not generally creators themselves. They just know what they want to see. So if you see the same comment, and I didn't mention this in the thing, that video I made from the comment section actually wasn't just from one person. It was from a lot of people over the course of a couple of weeks. I noticed it, right? Then I did it. If you see a trend, different story. That's when you start taking action, or at least testing and checking. So now she has this audience that also love the text link. How can I set that up on my own podcast channels? We use BuzzFeed or Buzzsprout.com for our platform. That's how that works. But so her problem, Jen, is that she went from like 300 to 600 views per episode. Now, after doing all these different things, she's lost about half of them, or at the very least, they're split up across a podcast and this other type of content. Now she's asking if she should do live chat. It seems like she's trying to do a lot of things all at once. What do you think?
I feel like I would really address what it started with and how that changed going into more of the information forward approach. When you try to hit on a lot of tips and tricks, you're really just targeting information, and if that information is not specifically interesting to a group of people, then they're not going to watch it. Versus maybe the content before that wasn't quite framed like that. Obviously still giving some really great information, but perhaps just packaged differently that felt more enticing. I would really go back to the beginning and see what the difference was between the two types of content.
Well, I think there's something that she says here that is very telling. And that is when I branched out on podcast, I put extra effort into my socials and dropped the tips and advice YouTube videos, which I missed doing, which are the things that brought people. That's what brought.
So they stopped doing the YouTube videos, just in general. It sounds like
the stuff they remember, because at first it was Empower Farmers and with Essential Skills. All that stuff kind of went to the wayside a little bit as she was being kind of trying to. I think she was listening to people who
too fast, too soon.
Yeah, and divide the attention of everything that worked on the channel. You were at a point, you said 300 to 600 views per episode. It's great that you need to sit and grind on for a while. When you get to like 10, 20,000 views an episode, then you can start thinking about, oh, maybe a podcast makes sense and all these other things. I think when you only have so many watching, it's very easy to accidentally divide the little bit of viewership you have into something, and then it turns off other people. So people who came for that content you were doing, you're not really doing anymore because you're doing these other things. And that's not why they came. There's a couple of channels that I stay subscribed to, but I only watch the content when they do a specific type of content. And I don't watch anything else. Even though I like the creator, I'm super happy to be subscribed to them. And I watch all of one type of content they do. And I don't engage at all with any of the other type of content. That could be what's happened here.
Definitely. I think everyone has that behavior as just like a very casual subscriber.
Yeah.
You really have to pique my interest if you want my view.
Yeah, for sure. And there's her camera going again. I love the people watching on YouTube are gonna have a blast. Okay.
Oh goodness.
A couple more questions here, and then we'll be able to finish up for the day. Okay.
I guess my wire is broken.
Is your wire broke?
Yeah.
Well, R.I.P. We won't ever do this again. Okay.
The podcast is canceled. Goodbye, everybody. We're never doing this again.
This was it. I hope you all enjoyed it. We had a good run. Okay. Hi, Jen and Travis and potential guest. I've been listening for a while now and found you guys by searching YouTube and on Apple Podcasts.
Ooh.
And I love this. I started my channel, Avid Angler, about a month ago. I've had a... Wait, hold on. Let me read this again, because every once in a while we see this where someone starts listening to us before they start their channel. I always am really interested in that. It seems like that might have... I've been listening for a while now. Found you guys by searching for YouTube and podcasts, and I started my channel about a month ago. Okay. I have a couple of videos that reached 20,000 views. Wow.
Whoa.
And I've gained 6.3 thousand watch hours, but I hit 578 subscribers. Then people stopped subscribing. I went from 300 to 500 views per hour to 100 at the most. And I'm wondering if I could be doing something wrong to see the sudden decrease in views and subscribers when I post the same type of videos from the same niche. Thanks for your help. Okay. So a couple of things. Number one, congratulations on the incredible success you had early on. It almost never happens that way. So you already hit the lottery once. One thing I will tell you, and this is something that I have to tell creators who quote blow up. I've had creators that I've talked to get like 30,000 subscribers in 1 month. No matter who it is, I tell them the same thing. This will not last. It will go back. It will go down. I want you to enjoy it now and prepare yourself for what's about to come. Every single time. That's exactly what happens. Matter of fact, there was one time, this was back when cryptocurrency was really popping off in YouTube space. And I was talking to a cryptocurrency person. They literally got 23,000 subscribers in 1 month. And I told them the same thing. I said, this is great, but we need to start preparing for when this slows down. So that's actually what we're going to be concentrating on. I'm not going to concentrate so much on doubling down on what you're in. You already know how to do that. We're going to concentrate on the other stuff. I remember like a month later, the email that I got from them, they go, yeah, you were right. It has really changed. It's really stopped. And the kind of the algorithmic reason for that is that it tried your content across a whole bunch of people and it kind of stopped finding the people that were engaging with your content, and it just slows down. Stop is probably the wrong word. It does slow down. And that happens to almost every single channel that has an explosive growth. It just has to stop at some point or has to slow down at some point. Very normal. The thing that's not normal is that big explosive growth at the beginning. Some people never get that, and they just grow slowly over time. So have you done anything wrong? Not necessarily. It is also sometimes hard to know when you are so close to the content, whether you actually have changed something and you just didn't realize it. So keep an eye on the comment section and see what people are saying about your content. It seems like this channel's talking, or this particular podcast is talking about a lot of comment section stuff. So maybe that's what I'll name the episode, something about comment section or something.
Wow, Travis, it feels like as an experienced YouTuber, you should have had that title known beforehand.
Listen, this podcast is different. This is the first YouTube podcast I've ever done, so it's a little different for me. But you're right. You're not wrong. When it comes to other content, you're not wrong. So what do you think here, Jen? I mean, you've talked to creators who've had like big spikes. Like what typically happens when things slow down?
Well, eventually they go back up. That's how YouTube works. It is never, ever, ever going to be linear. And that is just something, for whatever reason, we expect. We start growing. We're like, cool, we're just not going to stop growing. But no, YouTube likes to, give you a nice little beat down in between. Make sure you still really want to do it. Make sure you're still uploading. And make sure you're trying harder. And then they'll give you that reward again. But it really is an emotional roller coaster like no other. But it is normal. Yeah. And everyone is going through it, which is another reason why having people just in your circle who understand what this is like is so important, because it can be such a hard time when you're in one of those lows and you're not getting the traffic and everything feels like it's failing and you don't know what to do. But it does come back out on the other side. It does.
And this is where being lonely is bad. Like, you need to be surrounded with other creators who can help talk you through this. Again, we have a couple of Discord communities that are awesome for that. We have a free Discord, which you can, I think it's vidIQ.com/Discord. I think it'll get you there. But then if you are on the Boost or above, like one-on-one or Boost, we have a special Discord for you guys. I think there might be a link in the show notes or something to get you there if you are doing that. Those are great places that you can just go to and talk. And again, at some point, we'll have some type of community for the podcast where you can go and kind of share, and other creators can give feedback. We're still not sure if we're doing it on Discord or if that we wait for the community thing. I think we're going to see if we can wait for the community thing. But if YouTube sometimes says, oh, we're going to roll it out, and then it's a year later, and you're like, well, listen, I don't want to wait a year for this. So we'll see.
This is going to be A/B testing all over again.
Oh my God, A/B testing is like 7 years. All right, here's the final one. Again, these are all from the text messaging. We'll do the emails next week, or next episode. So don't worry, if you send an email, we'll get to you. Hey, Jen. Hey, Travis. I'm really enjoying watching and listening to the show. I need to have you read these. I'm going to have you read the emails next time. You both give great advice for beginners. I am one. And I wonder if you could help me out. ChatGPT told me that the things that are important for a successful YouTube video are 40% idea, 35% quality, 10% thumbnail, 10% title, 5% description, and tags. Do you agree? I personally think the thumbnail is hugely important. To a lesser extent, the title, idea, and quality won't mean anything if no one's clicking through. On that note, what makes a good thumbnail, specifically for long form, rich story, game let's plays? Thanks heaps. Okay.
Love this.
This is great.
Hate this.
We get to go
hate
against ChatGPT on this one.
I do not like ChatGPT.
Okay.
And not even that I don't like ChatGPT. It's just he's so wrong about so many YouTube things.
Yeah. You got to remember the knowledge base for ChatGPT, I think, stopped at 2022, I believe. Last I remember. So it doesn't even have like up-to-date information. I don't agree with these. I think idea/topic being high is actually really important. Thumbnail is a lot more important than 10%, and title is a lot more important than 5%. Those are ridiculous numbers. Content quality, it doesn't need to be that high. So I feel like, content quality doesn't have to be 35%. No, I think that's completely wrong. I don't think you should also think about them in percentages either. I think that's kind of a fallacy in and of itself.
I feel like this is who this person is, though, because the fact that they asked ChatGPT to like break this down like this is, I'm like, okay, they need set like goals, like they are analytical.
That's fair. And then because they initially, talk about what makes a good thumbnail. Of course, thumbnails are very specific to the niche. There isn't like one blanket. If someone tries to tell you one blanket thing for thumbnails, they don't know what they're talking about. It just doesn't work that way. They might, if they're experts in their field, that's fine. But to say that one type of thumbnail style works across all of YouTube is ridiculous. It's just not. It's not a thing.
Yeah, that's tough to say.
So I would say look in your niche and see what's popular and see what's working, and then try to figure out your own version of that. But back to your like initial thing, it's like,
okay, I'm going.
What are you saying? What's number one? What's number? Start there.
Idea. I would do ideas 100%.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because if you don't have a good idea, you have nothing.
Right.
You can't make a good thumbnail, you can't make a good title, and you can't make a good video. You have no good idea.
Right.
So that to me is the base. That is, what do we say? That's 70%, 80%? I don't even know. That's got to be high.
It's very high. I would say it's over 50%. But sometimes, and we talked about that, I think we talked about this last week or something. Sometimes even the idea, which is usually helped pervade by the title and or thumbnail, sometimes both, is the thing, right? Like it's this combination of idea/topic, title, and thumbnail. They all have to sing. They have to be a chorus of amazing to make you want to click it. Because like I said, what was it last week or whatever? I don't even remember because we do so many of these and so much stuff that I don't remember when I said anything. There was this video that I watched about why the power sockets are upside down in America. And remember, and I really watched quite a bit of it. I'm like, this is actually kind of wait, that was an episode we didn't even record. That's what that came from.
Oh yeah. We scrap content too around here.
Bro, here's the thing. There is an episode we recorded that we're not releasing. And then there's an episode that we were going to record and then we stopped recording it. So
this should have been one also.
That's a great episode. Okay. So anyway, the concept of the video is that the power outlets in America are all upside down. Now that's a really subversive kind of topic. It's amazingly interesting. Thumbnail was very, very simple. It was literally showing the power outlet and it's showing it upside down and like an arrow, like you're doing it wrong or something like that. Anyway. But then once you got into it, the content was really engaging, really good. So ultimately, without that idea, which seems simplistic and kind of weird, it is just interesting enough. If it was just about a power outlet, just generally speaking, like the history of power outlets, I would never watch it. Like, I don't care.
Well, if it didn't go against something you thought you knew was true.
Right. It's subversive.
This went against everything you thought you knew to be correct. They said no.
Viral formula.
And you said, what?
There's a couple of things that make something viral, and I'll just give you two of them. That, what she just said, something subversive, something that goes against what you thought you knew. And then the other thing is shareability. And shareability is easy to explain, but hard to nail. And let me just give you exactly the secret juice behind this, and then we'll end for this. The reason why shareability is so strong is because, as one of the things on YouTube loves to look at is like, where are these people? Are they getting links? And like, how's it being shared? And it loves that, right? But how do you get someone to share something? It's not just by asking. You've got to invoke an emotion of some sort. And then you have to understand, why do people share things? And I'm about to tell you why people share things. So let's say you watch a video that makes you either laugh, or cry or whatever. Do you remember what the last video was that you saw that you really shared, you wanted to share or did share to someone, Jen? Can you think of one?
A crockpot video with my mom.
Oh my God. Who did you share that to?
My mom.
Oh, it was a crockpot video and you shared it to your mom. Why did you do that? You're so funny.
Because me and her and my sister all just bought crockpots so we could start a crockpot group chat.
Okay, this isn't exactly the way I thought this was going to go, but fair. If you all buy crockpots, it was relatable.
Inspiring.
There we go. It was relatable. Okay, that's actually close enough. That's relatable is close enough. But typically, one of the main reasons people share viral videos isn't just because they bought crockpots or air fryers or whatever the heck. They do it because they want the person that they're sharing the content to feel the same way that they did when they saw it, whether it be laugh, be encouraged, maybe feel emotional. They felt this really powerful moment, whatever it is, excited, and they want someone else to feel that. So that's why they share it. So if you can get someone to be one of those feelings, maybe excited about crockpots, then they will likely share it. So that's again, easy concept to understand. Go, oh, okay, I get it. That's cool. Now try to figure out how to make someone feel something. That's hard. That's hard work.
Yeah, there's also like weird reasons. Like you may never know why someone shared something.
That's true.
There's like the smallest second of something that maybe they laughed about with a friend that was similar. I mean, it could be anything, but like large ideas, like you're saying, that's trickier than a crock pot.
I think someone's going to share all the times your camera crashed and laughed and you fell out and died.
Clip it.
Clip it, people. All right, look, we have a bunch of emails to get to, but we're going to do that in the next episode. So make sure you hit that subscribe button either here on YouTube or make sure you're, obviously, if you're listening to this on any podcast platform, you probably are. If you're listening on Apple Music or even Apple Podcasts, leave us like one of those nice 5-star reviews that so many people like, what the kids say nowadays. And I think we'll save the what did we watch this week for the next episode. But again, we're going to try to pump out more content for you guys and gals. We love the feedback we're getting, and y'all seem to like it. So why not? We'll do it again. So make sure you check out the next one. If you send an email, you'll be in the next episode. We'll see y'all in the next one.